Previously on All Bronze, No Brains.
Do you hear that?
Can't even shout, can't even cry. The gentlemen are coming by. Looking in windows, knocking on doors. They need to take 7 and they might take yours. Can't call to mom, can't say a word. You're gonna die screaming, but you won't be heard.
So we will jump back in where we left off, which was the beginning of Act 3. So to catch you guys up, I don't know if you remember, but the gentlemen have just ripped out that guy's heart.
Oh,
Pulled his shirt up and got in there. Tacked him in bed.
Yeah, the gentleman had a little grinder sesh at the Sunnydale University campus. So we open with the gentlemen, and they have collected 3 of the 7 hearts that they need, and we see because we can count, we can see the jars. And I'm just like, if I was their manager, I would be like, you could have got all 7.
Right.
There's 7 of you guys. It doesn't need 2 of you.
Yeah, but they also don't have to take one and bring it all the way back. They can get 7 while they're out and then come back and stuff them in the jars.
I think they like the pomp and circumstance of it all.
They're the pageantry.
I think they're into the pageantry because if we're being honest, they're not the most efficient movers, and they're not even they don't even have scrubs on. They're wearing suits. You know what I'm saying? I think it's more about the ambiance.
You want to show up looking sharp for every kill.
Right. Yeah. So I agree. Efficiency is not their priority.
I rewatched this today in anticipation of picking this back up, and it occurred to me, and I apologize if I brought this up in the first half. It was a couple weeks ago. This is the second time we've had Demon collecting body parts.
Who else collected body parts?
In Puppet Show.
Oh, well, I think that's a pretty common Demon hobby.
But it's
collecting body parts.
But internal body parts.
Have you noticed yet where you are that you've had 2 episodes almost in succession where it was all about the bad guy with a necklace? Because you had Anya trying to get her necklace back, and you had Balthazar trying to get his necklace back.
Oh, yeah. Necklaces.
Interesting.
Again, the image, the accessories, the look, the fit. It's what these demons are about.
David and I had a little bit in that episode. We were like, someone in the writer's room was like, Marty Noxon, remember when you borrowed my necklace? Someone in that writing room borrowed someone's necklace, and they're trying to subtly hint. They're like, yeah, well, what if Buffy's just asked for the necklace? Marty Noxon's like, Jane Espenson, what if I write my character looking for a necklace? Yeah, and Jane's like, yeah, what if it's a big fat demon looking for a necklace? But in this scene, we actually get to see a little overview of all the different gentlemen. And I know we mentioned this in the first half, but this is where I'd made the note, is that one of them looks like the dinosaur guys from Super Mario.
100%. It's sort of like if you took the main gentleman and squished his face, and now his face was flat, 2-dimensional. That's what that guy looks like.
Yeah, there must have been a lot of prosthetics for some of them. Some of them look human, but he was just
Yeah, his proportions were wrong. There was uncanny valley happening there.
Quick tangent that I just learned about. Did you know that there is an actual real-life mental disorder where you can just wake up one day and you see all human faces as demons?
Oh.
Demons.
And I wonder if that mental disorder is actually just your brain being more switched on to the true human condition.
Right.
Everyone with
Whoa.
a big fake smile.
It's getting deep. Sorry, I didn't mean to derail you with my terrifying tangent.
No, that's okay. My thought that I just wrote down here was, are the gentlemen gay?
Of course.
I can't remember if we talked about this before, but they seem gay.
They're obviously soups gay. They're so gay.
Yeah.
They're like, you know that Instagram group of old gays that do TikTok dances and stuff?
Like the Palm Springs gays?
Yeah, that's I thought that was just
I was going to
obvious
say the
that's
main
who
one
they
was
are.
giving me John Waters vibes for sure.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, the gentlemen are the Palm Springs gays.
We're old gays. We invented being gay.
Girl!
We're old gays. We have a lot of sex.
So we see Buffy back at the dorm and she sees everyone crying and she just is so easily able to sneak into the storm room. The guy's body hasn't been covered. She's just
No.
like,
There's no police tape. The janitor's the one guarding the door. She just slips
Yeah.
right in.
and she just has a wee look. I would definitely would have been like wanting to see inside the hole.
Oh, for sure.
Oh,
well,
yeah.
you love seeing inside holes.
So we cut to Giles and he is reading in the papers about a brutal slaying and we see the headline that says there was a 15-year-old girl that was killed, which I just thought was, how did they get to her room?
Like, we just kind of scoosh past it, but yeah, I caught that too.
I actually think I missed that.
It's just on the newspaper, and we see that Olivia, Giles's girlfriend, has drawn a picture of the gentleman, and Giles is like, "Oh, now that you've drew a picture, I know exactly what that is."
Mhm.
And I really love this shot where we see him go over to like the bookshelf and slide out the book that says like fairy tales on it. I thought that was such a good, really, really great shot. We cut to a lecture room on campus where Giles is giving them the infamous overhead projector presentation on the story of the gentleman. This is, I think, in Buffy.
This is one of those episodes and scenes that I can't wait for my mom to watch for the first time. She's going to love it.
And he's brought his own soundtrack, which is an absolute tune. It's Dance Macabre by Saisons, which I love this because we studied this in school, like in music before Buffy had been on. So when it came on, I was like, oh my God, like I know what this is.
Your education system is so much better.
Yeah, it is. It really is.
Facts.
So we see Giles go through this, and I'll just go through them one by one, and you can comment on anything that you want to. So Giles starts leading the way with his overhead projector presentation. I actually love this. Like, it gives me such flashbacks to school.
Oh my God, me too.
I used to love when teachers would be like, you have to do a presentation, and then you get the acetate paper and the special pens, and oh, it was all so good.
I was always the Hermione Granger that was like, would anyone like to come up and volunteer to write? No, so I was like, yes, me. I loved it.
Yeah, who wants to write the date on the board or who wants to read out loud?
Me.
Yeah, I used to love doing that.
Me
So
too.
you see Giles's first slide and it's like, who are the gentlemen? And it says, they are fairy tale monsters. What do they want? And Willow is pointing to her heart. And Xander's like, boobies.
Boobies.
It's so funny. And then Giles shows the one that says hearts. He says, they come to a town. They steal all the voices so no one can scream. Then, and then we see all these bloody pictures like that Giles has made, like all the blood. And Anya's like,
Just
I-
chowing down to the popcorn.
she loves it. I thought that was great.
I like picturing Giles drawing these, like sitting at his desk with his glasses
Figuring
on,
out
like
what
drawing-
details
yeah.
to include. Yeah.
And the next one says they need 7. They have at least 2, but we know they have 3. Xander writes, how do we kill them? And then we get the infamous Buffy kind of,
Whacking it.
Yeah. and everyone's like, what? And then she pulls a steak from her bag, and I'm like, that was literally just like not how you would even. I just
Not
love how
how
it
you
was.
would
No,
It
she
was so blatant to just
Yeah.
get
gesture
that in.
changed for sure.
Yeah, because you would never go like this. You would go like this,
Yeah,
where you're like
Yeah,
jacking off someone that is taller than
a
you.
giant. Yeah. I think Joss Whedon actually said that the network, he was really surprised that the network let them keep that in.
This is really sort of the first PowerPoint presentation, if you think about it.
Yeah.
Like this kind of created the model that everyone has used since.
Says a guy who's never made a PowerPoint for a job before. I'm sure they were doing PowerPoints before this. No?
I mean, I was doing them in school before.
Before this,
Well-
I've never made a PowerPoint, so I don't know.
You're from 1812, so I think that's probably the issue here. Eric's like, wow, the technology in Buffy
Look at
is
this
just,
newfangled
wow.
projectors.
The next slide says, in the tales, no sword can kill them. But the princess screamed once and they all died. And Willow like pulls out her CD and she does like some miming of singing and then some like comedy dying. Giles says it's only a real human voice.
Interesting, because we talked about how you felt like people weren't acting the way they would act in this. Like you could for the most part, go on about your day. You don't have to run around in the streets, crashing your car, screaming, freaking out. Like, it's definitely weird. But I did notice how quiet it was. I feel like without the din of people speaking, we would be hearing a lot more people playing music and just to fill that space. Like, it's so weird how eerily quiet it was. I would have expected people to almost be making more noise to fill the space. I don't know.
Yeah.
Though I did have a thought after we recorded the first half where we were like kind of hard on people for like being so dystopian, like lighting
Right.
fires in trash cans and crashing into poles. As someone who is currently living through like an unprecedented dystopian spiral into hell in our country, you don't fully know like how you're going to react to trauma, you know? Like,
But
I
you're not
remember-
crashing your car or setting fires.
No, but I do remember when he who shall not be named got elected the second time, like my response was to like eat 12 muffins.
I think I definitely would go lighter on them this week, considering how much this week I feel like I've crashed out by just like not getting a text back whenever I like want a text. I'm like, okay.
Right.
So,
yeah.
so probably if I lost my voice and had no clue why, and there was
Yeah.
nothing, I would be like, I'd probably kill myself.
You might crash out. Exactly. So I think
Yeah.
apparently the three of us are easier on this situation than past the three of us.
Yeah.
So Buffy writes on the board, how to get my voice back. Giles writes, Buffy will patrol tonight, and Buffy signals like, oh, my hips, you know, because she's got like Giles has drawn her with those hips. That was Sarah Michelle Gellar's contribution to the episode. She suggested like the overreaction of the drawn.
Oh,
That's
that's
funny.
cute. I also found it weird that why did he draw her with a bow and arrow?
Maybe because they're not vampires, he knew she would need a different weapon.
That could be. As we know from season 3, though, Faith is the one with the bow and arrow, and she's bad at it.
Well, Faith is with the longbow.
Yeah. She's got that Ted Nugent compound bow.
I've got one of them
Really?
in my wardrobe, and I've never used
I
it
want to
before.
shoot bows. What? We were just at your house. Why didn't we bow and arrow things?
For Christmas one year, I got us archery lessons. We went out, and there's a Russian lady that'll teach you how to shoot a bow and arrow. It was pretty cool.
Yeah, it was awesome.
Oh, that's cool. I hope I'm good. I'm really good at shooting guns. I have oddly really good aim.
That's neat.
I don't know how, because I can't like throw a ball or like things like that. But two things I've got really good aim at is
I'm bracing
you probably
for
know
the
where this is
second one.
going already. Shooting a gun
Uh-huh.
and being able to spit directly onto the head of a dick.
Not where I thought that was going, but
it checks out.
same genre.
Yes, yeah. Now, in the DVD commentary, Joss Whedon does make a kind of bitchy dig where he says, like, of course, that would be Sarah Michelle Gellar's contribution because she's an actress and she's like concerned with her image.
Fuck you.
What a fucking douchebag! Like,
Yeah.
he's trying to be funny, and I probably would have read as a joke back then. But now, when you know all the stuff that you know, it's just like, why even bother?
And just the idea that he would bring that up at all, like that just didn't need to be said.
Yeah, so gross.
He hates women.
Yeah, he does.
Right. So Giles mimes that the rest of them will research. Sorry. Giles mimes that the rest of them will research. And as they all get up to go their separate ways, we actually get this really cool shot that I like where Buffy like looks at the drawing of the gentleman like on the acetate paper, and the camera does that like shift tilt or tilt shift. Is that what it's called? Focus to her, which I really, really like.
Rack focus, they call it.
Yeah, back focus. Is that what it's called?
Rack focus. So you're focused on the foreground and then you rack to what's in the background or vice versa.
Yeah, that's like a typical like getting into videography with like your Canon 5D and you're using a 50mm, so you're like, oh yeah, that was me all the time. So we cut to the men doing the only thing men know how to do, which is guns, guns, and more guns. I love that literally is just like the military answer. I'm very apt. Very apt.
It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
It's also funny because like they clearly are studied in supernatural occurrences, tactics, things like that, but they still answer everything with guns.
Well, they give Riley this weird gun that looks like a dildo shoved into the end of something that shoots lightning, apparently. Like,
Sure.
he doesn't have like an actual gun. He's got like this weird little it almost looked like a vampire steak was coming out of it. And I was like, that's like this is a steak shooter, but no, we learned later that it shoots lightning. I was like, whatever happened to just like a good old fashioned M16? That's crazy.
I love you, like shoots lightning It's like just electric, but lightning makes it sound like so much more fantastical.
Yeah.
Well, because it's
It's-
kind of yeah.
It's basically a fancy taser.
Yeah, it's a fancy taser.
Yeah.
Shoots lightning. That's so funny. So I don't know if you noticed, but we see Buffy patrolling, and guess where she's patrolling? Wisteria Lane.
Where the where the housewives live.
Desperate Housewives.
Yes,
Desperate
Desperate Housewives. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. That's why she's patrolling on Wisteria Lane. And Riley is also dandering about in full commando gear, no face covering. And I'm like, didn't Maggie say civvies only?
That was, I guess, for daytime, because that's when he was breaking up the fight between the two,
Yeah.
businessmen.
But it was nighttime when that happened.
I guess it was. Yeah, I don't. Yeah, why the change of strategy? That's so weird.
Yeah. I'm also like, why would you not cover there's just no sense of maybe everyone's scared and they're in their houses and he feels fine, but I'm just like, the logic is not logicking.
If you're trying to maintain a clandestine paramilitary organization, yeah, a little mask, a little helmet,
Yeah.
something.
But Riley has the eyes of a hawk apparently, because he sees these shadows of the gentleman in the clock tower and he goes off to investigate. So we see Tara looking up Willow's room number and she goes off to find Willow. And of course, typical woman, trips over her own feet in the process.
How dare you?
There's women going to women, guys got the guns, women have got their own feet to contend with. They're just like,
How dare you?
but I love that it sets up this lovely little, very stereotypical kind of horror shot. She falls and trips and then the camera's down with her. And then what do you see behind her? Well, what we hear first is the jingling of the crazy people's buckles, which I love.
That's
Creepy Santa's sleigh.
a creepy ambiance thing.
And I don't remember if we get the sting here or not, but as the gentlemen and their lackeys are flitting about, we get this really cool, whimsical, Danny Elfman kind of music. It's very different than what the show normally sounds like.
Yes, it's...
Yeah. It's very fairy tale. It's very creepy fairy tale.
I always sing this in my house and my neighbors are always banging the floor. Because
People come over to their house and they're like, yeah, the downstairs apartment is haunted. Sorry.
Yeah. He's just singing.
They just think you're a ghost.
Tara gets up and runs like fuck with them not far behind her. Somehow they're moving so slow, but she seems to be moving just as slow, even though she's running full speed.
Yeah. Well, it's very Jason in Friday the 13th, or Michael in Halloween, where it's we literally never see them move above a saunter, but somehow they're always in
right
front
on your
of you.
ass. Yeah.
Yeah.
I would love to see one of those slasher movies where someone just gets up and just takes to a full sprint and completely gets to safety.
Yeah.
Jason's just like, well, fuck this. I'm not going to catch him.
Yeah.
Katrin, just off the top of your head, and Eric, you can answer this too, but out of all the horror movie chase scenes that you've seen, what's one of the most iconic that comes to mind?
I mean, I can honestly say anyone where and I'm not making a joke, anyone where they don't have a woman trip for no reason. Kim and I always comment on when they do trip and it never seems reasonable. So anytime that they actually show a woman sprinting at full speed as if she has owned her legs for the entirety of her life, it's iconic. That happened in, I think, the movie Revenge. There was some really great chase scenes in that. So yeah, because at this point I'm just I cannot watch a woman fall one more time.
And we just did which episode was it? With the Earshot, where Buffy pretends to fall and so they get close, draws them in and she giggles and kicks the guy. I think for me, to answer your question, iconic horror movie chase scene that comes to mind is our own Sarah Michelle Gellar in I Know What You Did Last Summer. That chase scene is, and she's booking, she's hauling ass in that little green dress.
Yeah.
She looks amazing.
That's the other thing. I also I feel a lot of empathy for people that have to run on camera, because it's actually very difficult to act run, because you have to look like you know how to use your body, but you also can't get ahead of the camera, like can't mess up the ratio of the distance or whatever, but you still have to look like you're booking it at top speed. So people that are like very good at act running are very impressive to me. Sarah Michelle Gellar is one of them. And actually Tom Cruise is another one. Tom Cruise is exceptional at running, and it's actually a very difficult thing to do.
How about you? What comes to mind for you, horror movie chase scenes?
I mean, definitely, like I know what you did last summer, but I'll offer you a different one. I mean, I just love, it's not necessarily a chase scene, but it's definitely like a sequence. You know, in Scream 2, when Courtney Cox is like in the soundproof walls, like and she's like slipping around the side, and we see Ghostface pop his head, and it's just not even really a chase, but it's just like it's just so tense. Like I love
it. But it is a cat and mouse of sorts, yeah.
Yeah, I love that. Buffy's patrolling in broad moonlight with her crossbow, just wandering around. Buffy and Riley just really don't care who, like, how they don't know each other is like a superhero
Crazy.
yet. Yeah. When we get a good, genuine jump scare in this episode, when up jumps one of those fucking crazy orderly people. Are they orderlies? Are we calling them orderlies?
No, because they're in straitjackets. They're the ones that the orderlies would be ordering.
Yeah, they look like escapees.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
If orderlies are the ones that take care of them, they're the orders. Not to be confused with hors d'oeuvres.
Hors d'oeuvre.
Yeah.
I can send you our rim shot fail video if you need it.
So we have Tara running around like fuck, knocking on all the doors, and obviously no one is going to open up because of the guy from last night that was killed. And she keeps running through the fire exit and up the stairs. And I just love that the gentlemen are just like, la, 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 la. They're just like floating along behind her. Now, I do wonder, obviously for the sake of the story, like why they're chasing her. There's so many doors, so many rooms that they could just be like, let's just stop and get the heart. Now they decide to try and like
pursue somebody. Yeah.
They have a finesse, a panache, a showmanship. They don't go for just the easy kill. They want to make it count.
I'll see something on Amazon that I totally don't need, and then I get fixated on it, and there's all I can think about. I put it in my cart and take it out of my cart 16 times, and then I figure out, can I put this on a payment
up
plan?
The stairs.
Yeah, chasing up the stairs, knocking around. But yeah, they're floating around, these guys, like a cartoon that smelled someone who just put a pie on the window. Like that's kind of how they move. They're just like, so maybe they can smell her perfume or something.
Yeah.
I loved the sequence though, because we get the door open fake out, which I thought was really excellently done. I actually jumped.
Yeah, that was pretty great.
We do. Well, that's in a smidge of a second.
Jumping ahead.
So if you would like to stop jumping ahead and ruining this podcast, that would be great.
No promises.
So we cut to Buffy stunt double taking on some of these insane people, and in the DVD commentary, Joss Whedon just doubled down on this misogyny when he said sometimes these doubles don't match, and he made a comment about the difference in the breast sizes of the two.
Oh my God. Can I take Joss Whedon's heart out of his chest with my bare fucking
There's
hands?
not one in there.
I don't think he has one.
There's not one in there,
Yeah. Holy shit. What a full-blown piece of shit.
Yeah. His comment was a slight moment there of Buffy strapping on her fighting boobs.
Mm.
I don't want to find it kind of I don't want to find it kind of funny, but it's
but here's the problem. If you said that, I would find it hilarious.
Yeah.
If I said that, I would find it hilarious. If Eric said that, I'd find it.
I'm not anybody's boss.
Funny.
Yeah, I'm not anybody. I don't.
Well, that's it. I guess.
Power.
Yeah. We don't have a history of toxic misogynist. Well, I guess we've got 60 odd episodes that you can watch before this to see.
To be determined. I know you guys talk about the stunt doubles more. I bring it up and she gets annoyed, so I've learned to just kind of keep it to myself. But was Faith's stunt double ever a male person? Because there are definitely scenes where it looks like not a postal carrier. I mean, like a assigned male at birth. Like sometimes
more staunch. Yeah, like I'm not actually too sure now. I do know, like, because I actually think Faith's stunt double, the regular one that she has, actually really reminds me of Kim.
Oh,
like when you see her like in normal, that she really reminds me of Kim. Because remember, I was like, Kim reminds me of someone, I just can't figure who it is, and I think it's just like I think it's her. Yeah. Now, I know in season 1 of Buffy there was a man who did it. Now, the reason we talk about the stunt doubles lots too is because there is a lot of drama, that went on with like the stunt coordinators and stuff, and like
Oh,
Jeff
really?
Pruitt. Jeff Pruitt, the stunt coordinator, which I'm sure you'll get into when you start doing Trivia Crypt and stuff. Like he wrote this like scathing review kind of article short story thing about a princess in her high tower, and it was about Sarah Michelle Gellar apparently being horrible on the set of Buffy.
Wow.
Because I guess Sarah Michelle Gellar was talking about, on a TV show, like, oh, I did this and I did this and I broke my thumb, and he was like, she didn't break her thumb doing that. Like, she wouldn't have done this stunt, and she can't do this, and she's on TV taking all the credit for that. It's like, the show's called Buffy the Vampire Slayer, not Buffy Stunt Double the Vampire Slayer. Like,
Yeah. Also, that's truly the first time I've ever heard anything like that about Sarah Michelle Gellar. I've literally never heard anything other than she is a consummate professional who keeps her
yeah,
stays in her lane. Like I just don't buy it. I don't buy it.
yeah. I don't either. I think a lot of it was also back then to do with the fact that she was such a professional. And when you look at who people would say were the clique, which became like James Marsters and Sarah Michelle Gellar and like Michelle Trachtenberg, it's because they were the most they were the professional. Yeah. Now it makes more sense. Whereas at the time when I was hearing this stuff, I was like, oh, it's such a shame that she's such a bitch and doesn't want to get on with the rest of the cast. But now it's like you can finally see, oh, they were probably the ones that were like in the right.
She just kept it professional. Like
yeah.
She probably, I don't even see that she necessarily maybe even had a problem with them. I think she was just like, this is my job. I'm not doing this. I have a separation.
She was never going to be out at clubs with Paris Hilton and Britney Spears. And,
Well, Charisma Carpenter would be coming to set, and she always had a coach with her because she couldn't remember lines. When people would kind of pitch her and Sarah Michelle Gellar against each other, I can imagine what it would be like to come to work and do your job, and to be frustrated with the person who continually can't do their job.
Yeah.
Wow.
Totally.
So I can understand that, and it doesn't obviously take away from if there was any like kind of high schooly, bitchy.
Well,
drama.
I mean, and Nikki apparently was having problems far back as like during the show as well. Like, who wants to participate in someone's like willful self-destruction? Like, I can be in scenes with a person. I don't have to be around for all of the other things.
I just had this memory. You can cut this if you want. You don't have to. I was in a theater company for maybe like a year before I met you.
Mm-hmm.
And I quit the theater company because I was cast in a reading of a fucking play about Chernobyl. Like, it wasn't like a lighthearted comedy. And it was a reading, and we're like reading about kids born without assholes. Like, it was a horribly upsetting play. And two of my fucking co-stars, including the dude I was boning at the time, drank a bottle of vodka before they came on stage and did this fucking play completely wasted. And after like that performance was over, I was like, I'm not doing the second performance, and I quit. Bye. Like, I was just like, I'm not fucking doing this. This is so unprofessional. So me and Sarah Michelle.
Yeah. Birds of a feather.
Yeah.
Michelle together. Okay, so Riley enters the clock tower and gets attacked by. See, I've wrote orderly here now, and now I need to try and think of a word on the spot. Gets attacked by the lunatic. No, we're not allowed to say lunatic. Are we allowed to say
We're
lunatic?
not?
Mental case? Can we say mental case? Schizo?
Yeah. I like lunatic.
Yeah.
Am I not allowed to say
I'll
that?
say lunatic.
It's
Yeah.
like the moon.
I like lunatic because it comes from the moon and all that. Yeah.
Yeah.
I love it.
Exactly.
So Riley enters the clock tower and gets attacked by the lunatic, and he drops his gun, but he whips out a baton, and it's like super fucking sexy the way he does it.
It comes out of his boot, and he's like,
It comes out of his boot, and he's like, I'm like, oh, beat the fuck out of me with that. This is why I would be so shit at like protests in America. I'd be like, yeah, fucking you, hit me with that baton.
Do you guys remember that movie Out of Sight?
Yeah.
With Jennifer Lopez
and George Clooney.
And she's got one of those. This guy tries to get up on her face, and she pulls one of those out and whoops this guy's ass. And someone's like, "What happened?" He goes, "We tussled." And it's just like, I want her to whoop my ass.
She was good. She was good back then.
Yeah, she's a really good actor.
Yeah.
Yeah. Back then, she was. So Tara is now on Willow's floor, running like fuck, and she's rapping doors when one of the gentlemen answers the door, and he's got a heart. He's got a heart in his hand. Was that the fake out you were talking about?
Yeah, totally jumped. It was so well done.
Yeah, and we get that in the music, that like
Yeah, it was
horn
good.
kind of. I remember that was the fucking music for the DVD menu.
Oh,
So
really?
like, say if you fell asleep, and you know how we go back to the DVD menu,
And it's just
every now and then it's
blasting
like, I was like, oh, so fucking annoying. Oh yeah, so Tara continues that like she's doing a good job here.
I think she's doing great.
And I still feel at this point, watching this for the first time, I remember we don't know this character's future. I think, oh, they got us this sympathetic pretty girl that they're gonna kill on screen. Like that's what she's here for.
So Tara runs like fucking as Willow comes out of her room because Tara's obviously morbidly obese. She body slams into her and slams her into the ground, and Willow's ankle snaps.
Sure.
So Tara and Willow run off.
We tussled.
They tussled, yeah. So Riley continues fighting the lunatics. Buffy smashes through the slatted up windows, and they both whip round their weapons to each other face to face. Close on him, close on her, wide shot, predictable, direction, act break.
Love it. I was into it.
I love it in theory, but for someone like me who has always kind of thought of, I always think, oh, Joss Whedon's directing an episode, this is going to be great. And then I'm like, close on him, close on her, wide shot. But I'm like, okay, so it's not as special, I think, as what now that I'm older and like more into film, I'm like, it becomes a little more predictable.
Yeah. Well, here's what's interesting. I'm realizing you have a similar response to things like that Eric does. I rarely am looking at like how the shots were set up. I'm always looking at like what the actors were doing as actors, and I miss a lot of that. So yeah, you're right. It is very like close up master.
Now, I prefer to be that way, but I find when I start thinking about that stuff, that's me for the whole episode. I'm thinking like, and it's annoying because I actually developed thinking like that as a way to help me get through like films that really scared me. So I'd be like, I'll just think of all the people that are there during the filming and action and all that. But then I'm just like, when you become so, and this is why I do like sometimes when Joss Whedon uses a lot of oneers, because it doesn't pull you out of the story. But then when you get like really into like the cuts, unless it's a fight, I feel like it pulls me out. And the reason I bring it up is because I had wrote my notes while I was, watching this with the DVD commentary. And then at the end, Joss Whedon says something about it. And I was like, oh my God, I can't believe I picked up on this. So when we get to the end, we'll
please do.
this.
Yeah. No, I know what you mean. I feel like sometimes it's like the end of the Matrix where Neo sees the code. Like he sees everything as ones and zeros. Like I remember I was a huge fan of the West Wing, still am, big Aaron Sorkin fan. And I bought the 2 volumes of West Wing scripts. So I was just rereading my favorite episodes of West Wing. And then I was on a plane and I remember going like, oh, I see what he's doing here. Like I could almost finish this scene myself. But you said this, I said that, you said this. And you could almost like, it's almost paint by numbers once you see it. And it kind of ruined the magic for me a little bit. It was like, oh, I know how the magic trick is done now. And so sometimes, thinking about how they shot a thing to try and convey what they wanted, how to manipulate you emotionally, can ruin it for you a little bit.
Yeah.
Well, that was the thing. I developed that as a way, like I said, to get through horror films. And then, of course, they bring out New Nightmare, which is all about it being real, despite all the cameras. I'm like, oh no! But we'll talk about that on our soon-to-be recorded Freddy Krueger podcast, Wet Dreams.
Project.
Oh, God.
Spin-off project.
So we pick up in Act 4, and this was the act that Dave was going to finish on, so my notes are quite sparse, but I kind of vaguely remember. I know, I kind of know what happened. So it's pretty much a big fight. We have the big fight in the clock tower. We've got Buffy and Riley. We get a great shot of Buffy swinging on the rope, which I really loved.
Yes,
and it's actually Sarah Michelle Gellar doing the majority of it.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah, it was giving Luke and Leia on the rope in the first Star Wars movie a little bit.
Yeah. Yeah, it was actually. It's not that high off the ground, but there's a bit of power behind it, which I quite liked. And then we cut over to Giles's place where we have this whole kind of comic scene that plays out between Spike and Anya and Xander.
This is
So
your
we've got
favorite misinterpretation trope. You love this.
Nothing like sitcom shenanigans.
yeah. I love it was very smartly done. We see Spike go into the fridge, he gets his blood, and as he drinks his blood, he turns into Vampface, which I thought was an interesting thing. And then Anya's like lying sleeping with her head over the couch, and Spike drops a book and he leans down, and from the perspective of Xander, who just walks in, it looks like Spike is drinking from Anya.
Anya's
Because he's
blood.
got a little blood mustache. He's got a situation.
Little blood stash.
So let me ask you, did this trigger you, this particular thing? Did this trigger you like American Beauty did?
No, because this is a silly little vampire show.
Okay.
American Beauty, the end of American Beauty where they're rolling a joint and the dad thinks they're blowing each other and then it leads to murder. Like, that's so ridiculous. It was a cartoon.
Okay, so this
show
was
can be
used
a little bit of a
appropriately.
cartoon and it's fine.
Okay.
It's completely appropriate.
Well, Xander, now free from the constraint of language or words, is finally able to express his feelings for Anya.
Yeah.
Which is great, and he beats the absolute fuck out of Spike.
It's so cute.
I love that Spike, like, he can't even hit him back. He can't do anything because he's obviously got the chip. So it was a great way of just being able to logically have this happen without...
Yeah. Xander getting his neck broken and his dick shoved in his mouth.
Yeah. Oh God, that sounds great.
Don't threaten Tony with a good time. No. And Anya jumping up and having to express, quickly, I'm okay, I'm not hurt, all of it without words. And then the payoff to this scene is fantastic.
It's so good. We see, first of all, Giles and Olivia come out and they're all like, their faces are like, oh, this is like true love. I loved it. And then Anya does, she's like, oh God, I just remember doing that in school so much. Like, like not meaning to do it, but we were doing the symbol because we knew it would like get us in trouble.
Yeah.
But,
now, here's the question. Does Giles have a guest room?
Yeah. Oh.
Where are they going to fuck? Are they going to go fuck in Giles's bed?
Oh. Do they leave Giles? Don't they leave Giles's apartment?
I don't think so. I think they go right to fuck.
No, I think they do. They do leave Giles' apartment. However, Giles also does have a guest room because obviously we see that he's got his bed upstairs in that little veranda
where Jenny
thing.
was discovered.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
but he sleeps with Olivia in like where the bathroom, around the corner where the bathroom is.
Interesting. Okay. Yeah, he's got a
got a map of the house. Yeah, because he goes up the stairs to find Jenny in.
That's right.
That would make sense why you never would want to sleep up there. Probably after.
That's so true.
That one's off.
Maybe that's his guest room now.
Yeah.
Honestly.
Yeah.
Like the loft upstairs is his guest room now. I bet there's no fucking way he could. You're so right. There's no way he could sleep up there anymore.
Yeah.
But so that's where they go fuck.
I assumed, that Anya and Xander were going to find the next available surface and handle it right there. I don't think they're catching a bus back to Xander's house.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I don't really know how close Xander lives to them. I presume it's all quite close.
Yeah, Sunnydale appears to be about 3 blocks big. So
yeah, and the university is 5 miles away. Because this has been a constant thing in this season where they're walking back to uni down Sunnydale Street. I'm like, they're not. Are they doing 5 mile walks every time that they go to Giles' house? They obviously are getting the bus, but I've never seen a bus in Sunnydale.
Right.
Me neither. Oh no,
I have.
When Buffy catches a bus when she leaves town.
Yeah, that's more like a coach. She obviously went to the bus station for that.
And when the Anointed, but yeah, again, I think that's a city to city.
That's
bus.
an airport bus. That's an airport
bus.
bus.
That's true.
Not a metro.
Yeah. Okay.
And when Ampata appears,
that's like the
buses.
bus. That's like the bus station.
That's a Greyhound.
Yeah.
That's like a coach.
But not city buses. Not the ones like we rode around Glasgow. Yeah. Good call.
Yeah, there's no local infrastructure that I've been able to pinpoint.
It's what we call a transit desert.
Trans. So Giles' face during that whole part is brilliant because he's just like disgusted. I love it. Tara and Willow. We cut to Tara and Willow, and they have made their way into like the laundry room or something. I think it's a laundry room, and they're trying to push the big Coke machine. I would always call that a Coke machine.
Yeah,
that's so funny.
That's just like, I don't know. if that's the same for you guys.
So do you guys call it vending machine is what we call it?
We would call it a vending machine if there are like crisps and stuff in it. But
Oh,
see, when it's just
interesting.
drinks, I would call it a Coke machine.
Oh, interesting.
No, we definitely do that here too, where any cola is Coke, even if it's not.
No, only in his part of the country.
Okay, in the
not
Midwest,
my
we do
part
that.
of the country.
Everything's a Coke.
No, my part of the country, we have the cognitive ability to differentiate sodas. So
Yeah, you go to
Yeah.
a barbecue where I'm from, like, you want a Coke? And you say, yeah, like, what kind you want? We got Sprite, 7-Up,
that's
Orange
we
Crush.
That's not
That's
not
all
my
Coke.
that's not
Everything's
my
Coke.
people.
Like we would call it juice.
Juice. It's not juice. Juice is not carbonated.
I know, but it's just like, because we don't say soda, but we would say, do you want a can of juice? Juice is just like a liquid that's not, or a fizzy, I guess you could say fizzy drink.
Clearly, I'm just in a different class.
Well,
I
that's
think.
probably true.
You were probably like, do you guys want a soda or a carbonated
That is-
beverage?
That's exactly what we said. Yeah.
Yeah.
Soda.
Yeah, but that's because you were fake posh.
Yeah, I was. Yeah.
Yeah.
I was fake posh.
She would summer at the Cape.
Yeah.
So Tara and Willow are trying to move the Coke machine, and I loved this scene because
I
not
love
only
this
does
moment so hard.
I knew you would love it because it represents so many things. Obviously, we've got the strength of women. Well, why don't you? Do you want to talk to me about it? So you're a woman rather than me mansplaining this scene to you.
Oh, that was hot of you. Well, I mean, I remember speaking of the way things are filmed, this was an instance where I was like, the way this was filmed made me feel exactly what I wanted to feel when I saw
Yeah.
it. And I
Wet?
also, yes. And even though like I'm not gay, I'm a little gay. So like I was able to like appreciate how euphoric this scene must have felt at the time that it was on TV, to see them intertwining their hands in a way that was like so confident, and then like the surge of power that did feel like this is what women can do if we support each other. Yeah, I was pretty gay for this scene, if I'm being honest.
Yeah, I mean, I absolutely I love the message of like, obviously when we see like a lot of witchcraft and stuff in films, it's very like female centric, and there's a reason why. I mean, like women power, girl power. No one talks about man power or like
Right.
And as you know, there's something about like the way the world has kind of tried to make women second class citizens, that there's like you're rooting for the underdog to see these two women have all of this power. Like even when I was like 11 or whatever, like watching this, I was like, it felt special, and I love seeing people like just like surpass their power. Like when people get power boosts or develop new powers in films and stuff, I'm like, oh yeah, like.
I think there's also something to be said for like, yes, we do see a lot of like intricate ritual and like we need this ingredient and this stone to do this, but ultimately witchcraft is about intention. There was no spell, there were no ingredients, there was no waiting for the moon to be in the right place in the sky. It was like, my intention matches your intention, and that's all the power we need.
And what was so fun on a nuts and bolts level was how they were capable of more than just the sum of their parts. It wasn't like Willow can do this much and Tara can do this much, and together they can do the sum of that. What they were able to do together threw that thing across the room in a really violent way that was like, ooh, what's this now?
Yeah.
Very exciting, because telekinesis is one of like my favorite powers to see on TV. You know, I just love, because I always wonder, like, if I had telekinesis, I would be using my hands and stuff. I wouldn't be able to just use my mind. I would definitely be like Magneto in it. Yeah.
Yeah. This is I always look for any opportunity to like praise and blow up how awesome my parents are, but specifically my dad. This is one of his favorite scenes. Like, just the effortless feminism that my like cis het white boomer wealthy dad, that he just is able to like tear up at scenes like this when he just sees like powerful women. I remember him talking about this scene when he first watched it.
Yeah. Well, that's it, because it's also just like, they don't just hold hands and move the Coke machine. They explored like the touch of each other's
Yeah.
hand, like the way it like, before the intention is there to move the Coke machine.
Yeah.
It's so
beautiful.
like it's so sensual, and it's like really just like a real like blossoming, becoming of age kind of.
Yeah.
And they have to do it without
loved
words.
it.
They can't go,
Yeah.
all right, if we concentrate together, we can. It all happened by vibes, by
Yeah.
feel, by touch.
Well, that's it. Like when you remove language from like social situations, you just have chemistry, and I think that's where the episode really succeeds in a lot of ways. So, loved it.
Yeah. Gorgeous.
Big Lesbos, loved it. So, the fight continues on in the clock tower. And I actually thought that one of the funny things about this scene with the fight was I actually felt like we saw loads of Sarah, which was great.
Yeah.
We saw loads of Sarah in the fighting, and we saw loads of the stunt double in moments where you just wouldn't think you'd need to see stunt double. That's when it pulls me out of it. I'm like, why is the stunt double like looking into the camera for like 2 seconds? It's just
I'm so glad that I that I don't fixate on that.
You have that face blindness he was talking about before.
Yeah, I miss it.
I know. But I bet now, because I've told you that drama, it's going to
that I'm
percolate.
gonna notice it now. Yeah.
Yeah, sorry about that. I love that we get this absolute bitchy gay housewife gentleman that comes and like stabs Buffy and then backs away. He's like, because the way he goes back as well, he's like,
yeah, they're the Palm Springs gays.
yeah, it's so funny.
So
It's basically fucking Lisa Rinna over here with like a knife being like, it's wacky doodle time.
Lisa Rinna.
I love Lisa Rinna so much. See, she shared one of my stories once.
Shut up.
Yeah. And it was the first time I ever watched Housewives, and I was like, I've accidentally started watching Housewives at like season 9, but I'm absolutely living for like Lisa Rinna. And she like shared it, and I was like, oh my God. So I'm going to share this clip and see if I can get Lisa Rinna to share.
There you go.
share this
Do
clip.
it. Do it.
Lisa, check if you're watching. Come back and see if Beverly Hills. So we see Buffy gets like captured by the gentleman. They're like holding her, and she's trying to communicate to Riley to like smash the box.
Yeah.
But of course, Riley, just being a man, doesn't know what she's talking about, and
Nope.
he ends up smashing this little like jar of like purple dust.
Yeah.
Wrong thing.
Glitter. Yeah, the gentleman's
Yeah.
glitter for like their celebration. And then I love seeing that frustration in Buffy where she's like can't breathe, but she's trying to explain to him. But what I did love was Riley's little look of approval when he like smashed the bottle, as if he was like,
Yeah.
I did it.
was that the right thing?
That felt really real to me.
It was just so cute. I am loving, like, we're loving Riley. We're at the point where like we love Riley and we think he's
I love
great.
Riley.
I think he's just like, I think now that I'm older, I can relate to Riley more. It's also the same as Xander in this season as well, because we're like seeing Xander struggle in this season with like unemployment or like loads of jobs. He's just like a lot more relatable.
Yeah. I also like, this is no secret, but like I went through, as most women did in their 20s, like an Angel phase, a Spike phase, and Riley was safe and stable, which equated to boring. I do not see him that way now at all. Like I crave that sort of steadiness, and I'm sure I know it has to do with you, like just the comfort that I feel with Riley. It genuinely makes me sad that they met at a time when Buffy wasn't ready for that.
Yeah, the
And,
issues
I
are
relate.
her ability to accept love and to participate and show up in a relationship and balance her duties and her personal life. It really was not about him at all.
No, and honestly, like I talk
The
about
right guy at the wrong time.
that if Eric and I had met at literally 1 millisecond earlier than we met, I don't know that I would have been, and not just because of his fashion choices a few years prior to us meeting, which would have been a deal breaker.
I was a big wallet chain guy for a while. She sees the pictures and she's like, I'm glad I missed that.
And like a goatee. It wasn't good. But like you were Eric was terrifying when we got together, because he was like, hi, I love you and I'm done. I'm ready to do this, and I'm not playing any games. And I was just
Not like on the first date. Not like. Don't make it sound weird.
No, it wasn't weird. It was just like it was very stable. It was very honest. There were no games, and I was fucking terrified. So like it was, but I stuck with it. And I think if Buffy had stuck it out, she'd be in the same position that we're in.
Well,
right
you were
now.
25 though. She's 19, so I feel like there's.
Yeah, she needs a few more years. Yeah.
Oh, see, that's kind of good. That makes me feel, because I feel like that's where I'm at. I'm very like, I'm all in, but that's just because I'm too old to, like, not just because I'm too old, but I'm too, like, when I know what I want, I know like what I want. And like
Mhm.
when I feel close or have a connection with someone, then I'm like, I'm not gonna like beat around the bush trying to like slowly deploy my feelings bombs.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
and like, I'm just like, they're here.
Yeah, you're
This
not gonna be
is what they
strategic
are.
about it. Yeah.
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 Riley finally manages to smash the right thing that Buffy points out, which is the little box from the dreams, and all the voices like kind of fly out, and Buffy gets her voice back, and she screams like fuck.
Yeah.
And this is not her scream.
It's not.
No. Joss Whedon didn't say why, but he said they Foleyed in another scream. But he said she screamed her head off like on set. It just.
I wish they had used it because I have an issue with the scream.
I didn't love the scream either. It reminded me of there was this happened a few times. Michael Jackson would do a video and then like the music will stop and he's just like on top of a car yelling, but it always just sounds kind of like weird and like not really full throated. And yeah. And so I just feel like that's what we got here was like, ah!
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
it wasn't an inspired.
Yes, that's exactly. It didn't do the vocal flip that a scream does. It was like a yell.
Yeah,
and
yeah,
that's
it
not
wasn't
what I wanted.
Elphaba giving us the war cry at the end of Defying Gravity.
Buffy screams and all the gentlemen's head explode, and I love this kind of. I love the practical
so
effects
great.
here.
Fantastic.
I love all
Yeah.
these heads exploding. It was brilliant. Even the way they pause, where they're like,
Yeah, it was real. It was scary. It creeped me out for
And the
sure.
weird custard they had instead of blood, like it just even that was wild.
like the green kind of yellowy, like
Yeah,
exploding heads. It was brilliant. I loved it.
mucusy.
And then we pretty much fade into the next day, and we have Willow and Tara doing a little walk and talk. And Willow's like, I don't know if you noticed this, but while Tara's talking to her, Willow's kind of like biting her tongue. It's a bit like sexy, like, you know, when you realize like, oh, I think I might fancy this person, then you catch yourself just being all very like, ooh.
Yeah. Well, and I think for Willow, she's genuinely surprised
Yeah.
because she didn't identify this way up until
Yeah.
meeting Tara. So
Yeah.
I think it's even more kind of
How well thought out
intoxicating.
was this? Did they know this was going to be her partner, or did they think this was just going to be an opportunity to let Willow explore the way so many people do in college? Like, did they know
Yeah.
this is definitely who she winds up with?
I don't think they hadn't decided at this point how far the relationship would go, but they knew that Willow was going to kind of dabble with kind of being gay,
Uh-huh.
which I think they should have had Giles dabble with being gay, to be honest, because he obviously did when he was younger with Ethan Rain.
Yeah.
Agreed. But there's something, it's harder for me to insert
Yeah.
myself into the.
You had said you wanted him and Wesley to do their own version of Heated Rivalry on a recent episode.
Have you watched Heated Rivalry?
Yes. One thing I was going to say, but I didn't put it in my notes in case you hadn't seen it, was that the scene where they hold hands, Willow and Tara, was like the first locker room scene with the water bottle between Shane and Ilya.
I've only seen the first episode, so I'm
Okay.
not but I'd love it. I haven't had time to watch much TV, but we got
Yeah.
high the other night and watched it, and it was quite fun and quite sexy.
I mean, I just
She-
want to see Giles be the dom to anyone who's available, really. Like he
Yeah.
just I love that like he's Ripper in the sheets, like for sure.
Yeah.
And
He ripped me in the
Rupert in
really-
the streets.
and Ripper in the sheets. Yeah.
Yeah. Ripper in the sheets. I'd let him prolapse me and I'd be fine with it.
I just can't believe the evolution that is when I first watched this, like to go from father to
Yeah.
daddy is just such a weird mental
I gotta
shift.
say, when I started watching this, I think it was 21, 22 years old when this came out. I watched it when it aired live. Giles might as well have been their grandfather. Like, he
Yeah.
was so not on my radar at that time.
And
Yeah.
now I'm just like, how is
now,
he not
yeah.
on my radar? Like he is such a sex pot.
Mhm.
It's crazy.
We speculated on our Earshot episode, which I'm editing now, which comes out soon. Well, it would already be out by the time this comes out, but you haven't seen it yet. Who do the students of Sunnydale think Wesley is? I think a lot of them think, because he doesn't work there, I think a lot of them think
Yeah.
that's Wesley's boyfriend, or they think that that's Giles's
Giles-
boyfriend.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
especially because it's so problematic, the whole Wesley thing, because I think he's meant to be like 21,
Yeah.
but he obviously doesn't look 21.
That's fucking weird that they would put someone that doesn't even make internal sense. Why would they put
Yeah.
someone who's fresh out of the Watchers Academy
In charge of the only active Slayers in the world.
taking
That's crazy.
taking over for what they consider to be a rogue council member watcher? Like what? That's
Well,
crazy.
This was kind of one of my main thoughts back then, was that I think there was this illusion that having a Slayer was like a accolade, when in fact it was because they look down on women so much that it actually wasn't like that at all, and that's why Giles doesn't get invited to the things, and like
Oh,
he misses out on a
wow.
lot of the stuff because they kind of look down at him for having to deal with the woman.
Oh,
Wow.
yeah.
Even though there are women Slayers,
Yeah.
or there are women Watchers. I'm saying all the wrong words.
Yeah,
Even though there are women Watchers. That's fucked up.
I have a whole different theory about their treatment of Giles. My whole backstory for him is that because we know that his father was a Watcher and that he rebelled against the hereditary nature of that, as we know, was Ripper. And I think he was resentful of the life that was sort of like already planned out for him. But because his father was a very well respected Watcher, the council still had to like honor his position, even though they didn't think he deserved it. And so he
Yeah.
becomes the Watcher of the Slayer, even though they're like, but that's the fucking Ripper kid that fucking summoned a demon with his boyfriend. And they're resentful of the fact that he's in this position of power, was sort of how I
and
decided.
the whole thing is that they don't plan on the Slayers being good or living long, because that's the only way they can maintain control over them.
Yep. Yeah.
Is by
Yeah.
having them die young and going on to the next one.
Mm-hmm.
And that whole 18th birthday helpless situation where you almost think that's maybe designed to knock them off.
Oh, it's
before
designed because
Yeah.
when you're a woman and you turn 18, that's about coming into your power. Whereas this was all about fear and controlling by fear and saying that we can take your power away whenever we want.
Although I did see someone made a comment on one of our episodes, was like, it's weird that there is this method to rob Slayers of their power with the muscle relaxants and the anti-adrenal drugs,
Mm-hmm.
and no one has ever used it since then. Like, we know
Yeah.
that there's a way to make the Slayer powerless, and no one's ever exploited that.
Well, I guess we don't actually know that. We don't know what other.
I mean, in the span of the show.
Oh, in the span of the show, yeah.
It's also funny that they don't just look up spells to make everyone super strong, because
Right.
then the Scoobies would be doing great. But
Yeah.
I guess there'd be no drama. But so we cut to, well, so Willow and Tara have this talk where they talk a bit about magic, and Tara says that her mum was a powerful witch and that she's kind of known about it since she was a kid, and she tells Willow that she's powerful, and Willow's just like, yes. So we get the sense that there's going to be some serious cell block H action going on here. And we cut to Olivia, and Olivia is talking to Giles about everything that's happened. And she sounds so Liverpudlian in this scene. She's like, I always thought you were joking when you talked about witchcraft and darkness and the like.
Oh, you're so good at that.
I'd never picked up on how Liverpool she sounded until this point.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think watching this in the past, I didn't either. But when we spend time in North Wales, we get a lot of that Scouser accent in that area because it's only like an hour from Liverpool.
All I could concentrate on was how hot Giles looked. I couldn't.
Yeah.
I just wrote, he's so effing hot, Jesus Christ, is all I wrote for this scene.
Like, I would not be breaking up with him if I was lying in his arms like that on his sofa.
No.
I'd be like, come and kill me if you want, demons, as long as I'm getting that sweet Giles peen.
Yeah.
Just
Right?
Rest my
Pour me
head
some
in
tea.
that thicket of chest hair that he has.
Yeah. Come on. Priorities, Olivia.
All right, take me to the bedroom and give me your dick.
And it's funny that he admits to lying that he was a member of Pink Floyd, which is
Pink
kind of
Floyd,
funny.
yeah.
I had a friend who, when we were single and trolling the bars out here, he told people he was the bass player to Matchbox 20, and like nobody
my
knew
God.
who that is. So he's like, "You're a white guy, you're probably the right age." No one ever second guessed him.
Who was that?
I don't want to say names on the podcast. Yeah,
Got it.
Yeah, so this scene, with that little bit with Olivia and Giles is pretty much her. We realize that she's maybe not cut out for all of this.
Yeah.
she gives him the Owen
Okay.
treatment. I was like, this is not his world.
Yeah.
Not
Yeah.
her world.
He asked her, is it like too much? And she's like, And because
Yeah.
we never see her again, I'm like, I guess it was.
Yeah. That's a bummer.
So, spoiler.
All
so
right.
we cut to Buffy and Riley, and now that they can finally speak, they can't find the words to communicate.
Mm-hmm.
This was poetic. I liked it. I felt like it was a good metaphor for relationships, and I bought it.
I guess we should talk. They said,
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, that's it. That we should talk, and then they don't have
then
the
they can't.
words. And
Yeah.
then we end the episode with on him, on her, wide shot,
Two shot.
end.
Your favorite.
And this is where Joss Whedon actually said in the commentary that he really regretted that choice because it was obvious that that was going to be the end of the episode. And he kind of wished he'd ended maybe just on coverage of one of them because you still would have had that anticipation that someone was going to speak, which I agreed with.
I actually completely polar opposite disagree. It did
Oh,
it did
you're a woman.
it did what I wanted it to do. It ended on the space between, and I really actually very much like that. So
That's because it feels like nicely rounded out and it ends in a non-tension place because it's like
It ends
one,
on punctuation rather than an
Yes.
ellipses. Like,
where I would have loved to have seen like close on Riley, close on Buffy, and then it just ends before anyone gets to speak.
mhm.
okay, I think you know what? Here's what I'll say. I'd have to see it.
Yeah.
To know.
Maybe I'll cut it up for you and send it to you.
Do it.
Yeah,
oh
do
my
it.
god, yeah.
It's such
That'd
a
be
good
fun.
editor. But to the previous version of this same setup, the 1-1-2 shot, I feel like that moment called out for a moving camera. Start on one, whip around, reveal the other, and that would have been so much more to the moment because it's they come together in the middle of a fight, primed and ready to
Yeah.
attack.
Yeah, I mean, I'm gonna fully defer to you guys because this
not something that occurs
this
to
is
you.
not something that occurs to me. So I can defer.
Must be nice. Must be nice to just have that luxury.
Yeah.
And then that is the end of the episode.
Yeah. I'm so excited for my superlatives.
Shall we jump straight into the superlatives?
Yeah, so something we do at the end of our episodes is we have a meeting.
Something we do at the end of our episodes. We're going to do the superlatives right here. Yeah. Sorry.
I was gearing up for it.
I love it.
Well, fuck it. Sunnydale High Yearbook Committee meeting now in session. Tony, who'd you have for best dressed?
Buffy's opening outfit.
That was mine as well. I loved it so much.
Interesting. Okay, so I had Giles and Olivia at the end with their yummy sweater game.
Oh,
Oh,
it's a
yeah.
good one. Yeah.
Honorable mention, Tara's zigzag part.
Oh, you loved his
Yeah, I was just thinking, I love that zigzag part too.
Yeah.
That was great.
Yeah.
And then, Tony, who'd you have for worst dressed?
Xander's brown Adidas tracksuit bottoms.
Oh, I had Willow is wearing a set of pajamas that I cannot identify what the thing is on them, but it appears to be poop.
Or testicles?
Poop
Coconut
poop
testicles?
pajamas? Yeah. Coconuts?
Poopsticles?
Poopsticles? Yeah.
Cocoa
So
poopsticles?
I was not a fan of her poop pajamas. And then, but it's tied with the best dressed outfit that Buffy then puts a weird grandma shawl
Okay,
around.
so this is where I went. I took that first outfit. Buffy blue top, off the shoulder peach shawl, weird long beige skirt with designs at the bottom. Once she added that shawl, this whole thing went off the rails.
fell off the wagon. Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you do a best line? I know there's not a lot of talking in this one. Did you pick best line?
I did. I picked every girl with a henna tattoo and a spice rack thinks they're a sister to the dark ones.
I think it was from the same scene. I picked a bunch of wanna blessed bees.
Yeah, that's good.
Nicely played. I gave it to Spike when Anya and Xander start fighting. And Xander's like, remember how we talked about, like, this isn't cool to do in front of my friends? And Spike goes, we're not your friends. Go on.
Yeah.
I love Spike so much. I can't wait till we get into season 4
Yeah.
and can start to enjoy him again. What'd you have for worst line?
Then we can all get on our broomsticks or ride around on our broomsticks.
So fucking stupid.
Surely she fucked that line up and they just didn't have time to do it again.
It was so dumb. I didn't pick that one. I had just Xander's been on a good trajectory lately, and then he just had kind of a vaguely misogynistic line where, like, Anya has questions about where the relationship is going, and he's like, you really did turn into a real girl, didn't you? And it's just like, oh, because she wants you to be accountable for how you treat her? Fuck you.
Yeah.
I also had this. I actually picked that entire like scene, all those girls, as my worst line. So in addition to the broomsticks line, there was also, who left their scented candles dripping all over my women power shrine?
Yeah. I make an empowered lemon bun. Ugh.
And Tony, who'd you have for best move?
Best move, Buffy on the rope.
Tony, we're so in sync because I also had Buffy on the rope.
That was a great move. I had Anya giving Xander the sex fingers.
Yeah. I did have a special mention there, which was Riley shooting one of the people in the face with his electric gun.
Oh, you mean his lightning gun?
Yeah, with his lightning.
His lightning gun, yeah.
And then lastly, Tony, who did you have for most likely?
Most likely to get disavowed from the top secret organization by walking around with his weapons in public and with no mask on? Riley.
Riley. All right. Yeah.
A punishment befitting the crime. Who'd you have?
Most likely to start some crystal MLM scheme for witches with only a $5,000 buy-in so you too can have magical abundance in your life. That dumb bitch in the Wicca group.
I just said most likely to set off a metal detector with those grills, the gentleman.
They did have some chrome grills.
Tony, thank you so much for having us. We had so much fun with you. I can't wait to see what you're able to create out of the endless ramblings that we did today. But we had so much fun, and we've been so excited to be on your show for a long time. We can't thank you enough.
We're so desperately in love with you.
Good. No, I don't know how this will sound because I'll read mine and Dave's parts. But and that is all we have time for today, folks. Make sure you like, follow, and subscribe. If you're on YouTube, then hit that little bell icon wherever it is for you for notifications when we have a new episode. And if you're over on Spotify, then make sure to give us a glowing 5-star review and make sure to leave us a wee comment. We love to read your comments. We love to comment back to them. I like to flirt with boys in the comments. So if you're a boy, get in there. And if you've loved this episode and thought, gee, I wish I could have listened to this yesterday, then head on over to our Patreon, where for less than the price of a coffee, you can see bonus episodes, clips, and you can see our Angel Season 1 rapid recaps that we're doing. I was going to say yes and a huge thank you, but I don't need to say yes because it's me. And a huge thank you to everyone on our Buffsters tier, our big Buffsters tier, for their continued support of the pod, because I am a big fat starving artist. I can't speak. This is how most of our outros go. And Dave was going to say, Eric and Ketcha, tell people where they can find you and what you're up to.
All right. Well,
welcome back to the Hell of Your 5x5.
My name's Dave Rock. I'm the new guy in the black, and you have the right to remain locked right here where we're always stocked with lots of rock. No,
I love
it's my
that.
DJ voice. I was actually a strip club DJ for one summer. I did that as a job.
That's so cool.
It was pretty wild.
Can we now talk about your strip club bona fides, and can you maybe tell people where to listen to us?
Yeah, so if you want to follow us, we're on social media at Major Slayage Pod on many of the things. We're not on all the things. Like we're not on True Social. We're not on
They get it. They get it.
We're not on some of the other ones, but yeah, we're on TikTok, Instagram, Blueski, I think we're on that one. And you can find us on YouTube. Every Monday, our episodes come out at Major Slayage Pod on YouTube. And we're also on Spotify, so check us out there. And maybe I'll send links along. You can drop those in the show notes.
Show notes? What do you think you are? Cambridge University? Of course, there will be links below for Katrin and Eric, and also for Ken and Kim Stay Alive, maybe.
Yeah, I should talk about our sister show too.
Yeah.
So our sister show to Major Slayage is Kim and Kat Stay Alive Maybe. We're a podcast on Apple Podcasts, and two best friends tell each other a horror movie and try to stay alive in it. We are a horror movie comedy podcast, and we've been doing it for over 400 episodes, guys. So
Been
there's
about 8 years.
lot to listen to. Come on down.
Yeah, I had produced that show. It's on social media at KK Sam Podcast.
And for those of you who aren't American, a horror movie is not what you think it is. It's a horror movie.
A horror movie.
We make horror movies. You can just see two girls being two big whores. Yes.
That's us.
But that's it for now, guys. We are actually taking a 3-week mid-season break so we can get caught up with editing and to leave you wanting some more of this sweet pussy. But don't worry, we have a few wee special bonus things coming your way. But until next time, bye.
Bye.
Bye, everybody. Bye. Thank fuck that's over. I told you never to book them again.